Hey everybody, Parallel here, and welcome back to Star Trek Online. This is going to be my continuing playthrough of the Gamma Quadrant Story Arc that was released in the Victory is Life expansion. I will of course be playing on my Jem'Hadar character that I created for the expansion. Now, I have been doing some grinding off-screen, and I wanted to go through a couple updates and show a few things on my character that have changed since the last episode, and also maybe give a few suggestions for new players on their Jem'Hadar, some early things you can grind for, and particularly for the reputations that you will be able to, quickly obtain with some minimal grinding, and should improve your character pretty significantly. And then we will jump into the episode. And then the episode we're going to be playing is the second episode in the series, which is called Armistice. Now, I'm actually really looking forward to this one. The first episode was great, and this episode looks like it's going to focus around Kai Opaka, which is pretty interesting because that was kind of a loose thread in Deep Space Nine. They never went back to that storyline. And I think it's actually kind of cool that Star Trek Online has been doing this lately with some of the more recent story arcs where they have gone back to kind of loose threads or unresolved plot lines from the original series and then kind of brought that into an episode and added their own spin to it and given it its own story and kind of wrapped up that loose end. Like, they did a similar thing with like Kel Dano and the Taksu Tat, which was kind of... there was that one time traveler they found in that Enterprise episode that was never explained, but then Cryptic took that little unexplained loose thread, turned it into a storyline with Kel Dano, and he was the inventor of the Taksu Tat and all of that cool stuff. So that was really cool. And they also did it with I'm trying to think what else they did it with. Yeah, I'm blanking out. I mean, they also, I guess another one that would be good, a good example was also what they did with like Tasha Yar, where they had an episode with Tasha after she had escaped from a Romulan prison, and with Sela had seen what happened and kind of come to terms with that. So that was kind of a cool follow up as well from loose threads in the episodes. And now here, hopefully we'll find out what has happened with Kai Opaka. So, from my recollection from this episode from Deep Space Nine, she stayed behind on this planet, and I guess it was like a lunar prison colony planet. I think she had to stay behind because there were some physical conditions. I guess the way this lunar colony, this prison colony worked is there was some, I don't know if it was like a microbe or something or virus where the prisoners on this colony, if they ever died, this microbe would basically resurrect them, so they could never die. So there were these two factions who would constantly fight on this prison colony. They would kill each other. They'd be and then they would come back to life, and they'd have to go through this constant cycle of being killed, and they would never have any release. It would be going on forever. And I think that microbe was also keeping Opaka alive, so she had to stay behind. And she kind of also had this vision from the prophets that she was supposed to be there and help these people. So that was never resolved from the series. So I'm wondering what's going to happen in this episode here, if we're going to find out what the result of that is. Was Kai Opaka successful? Has she been trying to negotiate some kind of a peace? Was she able to get through to these people? Because it seemed like they were pretty intractable. They were really stuck in their ways of hating each other. So even Dr. Bashir was trying to cure that virus, and he even offered he might be able to do that. And he offered it to the people, and they're like, oh, good, we can now use this virus to kill our enemies permanently, So they weren't interested in peace at all. They were only looking to get advantage over the other faction on the colony. So yeah, very much looking forward to this episode. So yeah, a little introduction there, a little background on maybe where this is going. But yeah, like I said, before I get into the episode, I did want to just give a few updates here. So I have been doing some grinding off screen. As you can see, I'm also in a different ship. So instead of the bug ship, I did switch over to the new Jem'Hadar Vanguard warship. This is one of the ships you can get from the new Vanguard, from the Vanguard pack. Or you could buy the ship separately as well, but there it is right there. Oh no, that's the Raider. Here it is. Here it is right here. And this is actually turning out to be an excellent ship. I'm very much enjoying this ship. Quite powerful. I will eventually do a review on this when I get to that point where I've gotten all the mastery and everything on the ship. But yes, very impressive ship. I think this will be an excellent performer overall in the end game. So very happy with this ship. But the main thing I've been grinding here is working on reputations, and I do want to give at least a couple suggestions to people. So if you are just starting out your Jem'Hadar character, you're going to want to you're going to want to start working on your reputations right away. Start getting all of them going. You'll want to do some queues to get the tokens and start working on the the daily reputation project, or the 20-hour cooldown daily project to get your reputation up. You're going to want to get that going every day for sure. It only takes 30 tokens, so you can. It doesn't take that much grinding to do that. So just keep that going, keep everything going. But some things I would target early is, first thing I would target is getting New Romulus and Dyson up to the second rank, which does not take too long. In fact, one other thing I realized doing this is that if you are playing the Jem'Hadar Vanguard race, that is the race that you have to again unlock with either the Vanguard pack, or I believe it comes in the starter pack as well, doesn't it? The starter pack, playable Jem'Hadar Vanguard, yes. So if you get the starter pack, and I think a lot of people have gotten the starter pack, I've seen a ton of these Jem'Hadar, the tier 6 Vanguard Dreadnought cruisers flying around. They're everywhere. So I think a lot of people did end up getting this because you also get the playable Jem'Hadar Vanguard. And the Vanguard has all of their reputations come pre-sponsored. So if anyone doesn't know what sponsored means, it means that once you've maxed out a reputation, you can actually create a where is it? I thought it would be here. Usually you can in the or is it in the regular projects? I don't think it is. I thought it was down here. You can create once you've maxed out a reputation on any of your characters on your account, you can create a sponsorship token. You can send that token to an alt, and then that alt uses the token, and then they will get double XP for all of their reputation projects. So basically, when you have created a Jem'Hadar Vanguard character, all of your reputations already have sponsorship, except for the new Gamma. The new Gamma Quadrant is excluded from that. Nobody has sponsorship on that one yet, because that just came out with the expansion. But all of the previous reputations, you will have that sponsorship, and that will double how quickly you can grind the reputations. So basically, each reputation, each daily project will give you 5,000 reputation instead of 2,500, and that will half the amount of tokens it'll take, and it will half the amount of time it will take. So it is awesome. It makes it grinding much easier on the Jem'Hadar Vanguard. So I would very much recommend, if you are wanting to play your Vanguard character seriously, or if you want to seriously get into the expansion, to get that Vanguard race unlocked either through the starter pack, or you can buy it separately as well in the C store, because just that amount of time you're going to save having all of your reputation sponsored is going to be huge. I mean, just like half a month of grinding you'll save. So yeah, just wanted to mention that. But like I was saying, you will want to get up. I do suggest getting up your New Romulus and Dyson to the level 2 tier as quickly as possible. With this sponsorship, it only takes 3 days. 3 completed reputation projects, and you're already going to be at tier 2. And the reason you're going to want to do that is because there's 2 really good reputation traits you're going to want for your ship. One is this one right here, which is from Dyson, which is 16% crit severity, and the New Romulus one gives you the 4% critical chance. That's just like 4% crit across the board. That is actually huge. That's a really awesome trait. So you can see over here, I've got these 2 slotted right here. So these are the 2 pretty much must-have space reputation traits on almost every build. So you can get those really quickly with just a little bit of grinding on those 2 reps. They have actual ground traits as well, which are kind of the same thing, but for the ground, so very good for both space and ground. So there's some, yes, quick things you can grind for. If you're looking for a couple of good consoles, I would recommend going for, in the Omega Task Force reputation, you can get the assimilated module, which I will be assimilated universal console right here. I will be getting this fairly soon. I've been grinding also some Omega rep, even though, again, Vanguards, they actually come with 3 of the reps already at tier 5, already maxed out. So if you're a tactical character, you get these 3 here. You get Omega, Nukara, and Iconian, which is really nice. So you already have those 3 maxed, and you just have to grind the other ones, and the other ones will be accelerated grind because they're all sponsored. So it's just awesome. So much of a time reduction, the amount of grind needed. But yeah, pick up that assimilated universal console. I'd also recommend picking up the kinetic cutting beam. Again, they only take, like, I believe tier 1 for the console and tier 2 for the kinetic cutting beam. Again, very easy to achieve. They're cheap to make. You don't even need. You just need regular Omega marks. You don't even need the Borg Neural Sensor Elite marks. So these are, very good. It's a nice little 2-piece set. It's a good console. Has crit severity on it and crit chance on it. So really good starter console. Another one that you can get that's a good starter console is the in the Romulan. If you get the 0-point energy console, you can also get this at tier 1. Again, it doesn't take any elite marks. You just need the... I don't think there's elite marks for Romulan, is there? But this one will give you some power to your subsystems, some drain, and then 2% crit chance. So that's another nice little console. It's not really an endgame console, but it's still decent. It's very good for starting out. So yeah, so those are a couple things. If you're looking for some universal consoles to slot into your ship and some quick upgrades for your reputation traits, that's what I would recommend. It's really easy to very quickly, I would say, to just grind out a few marks each day without a lot of time invested. Just go to your choice of marks. Just do the 3 red alerts. The Borg, Tholian, and Zinkethi red alerts. You can complete them very, very quickly. They're shorter than normal queues, and they give you a choice of any mark, except for Gamma. And then and you get your daily bonus as well. So it's pretty quick to just kind of grind out like 3 of those. Just get a couple. You get about 60, a little over 60 marks with the daily bonus, and you can select the mark type that you want. I'd also highly recommend doing Crystalline Catastrophe Advanced, CCA. Just do this as much as you can on cooldown. It's really good for fleet marks, and it gives a lot of dilithium, so just do that. Even just some, just running those 4 things each day, you should be able to keep up enough marks to keep your reputation projects going, and you'll be in good shape in no time. So yeah. So that is just some quick recommendations there, kind of what I've been grinding. I did also claim my temporal and account-wide temporal and delta rewards. There are some actually really nice things in there. Probably too much to go over right now, but I would just say just remember to go claim that. You do have to have 20 hours on your Jem'Hadar before you can go and claim those. And you do have to have level 65. So once you get level 65 and 20 hours played, you can then go claim your temporal and delta rewards. And it's really good because these also give a lot of reputation marks. They also give the temporal one in particular has a really good space trait called critical systems. It gives you that duty officer, that gold quality duty officer. The temporal temporal recruit event rewards were just like phenomenal. You get this guy right here, Templar Agent Barrett. So you also get the reputation enhancement where all of the items that you craft from a reputation start at Mark 13 ultra rare instead of Mark 12 very rare, which is a very nice thing. It has another reward, the temporal reward, that gives you like plus 20% XP on all Admiralty projects. It's just an amazing recruit event. So make sure you reclaim those if you did participate. Hopefully that one will come back around, since they did just recently rerun the Delta recruit event, so there is some hope that the temporal recruit will come back again at some point in the future also. Alright, so with all that claimed and everything, so yeah, this is the ship that I will be flying. It is a very nice... I'll try to explain a little bit more about it when we get into more space combat, but it is looking really, really good. In particular, it has this Miracle Worker seat, and there are a couple of really good Miracle Worker abilities I've been testing out, which is the Narrow Sensor Bands and Mixed Armament Synergy, which is why I outfitted a torpedo on this thing. But both of these give a fairly large Category 2 bonus. One, Narrow Sensor Bands, you have to be close to the target, you get a really nice bonus. And then Mixed Armament Synergy, if you like fire torpedoes, it will buff other weapon types by 40%. So, or if you shoot another type, it'll buff your torpedoes, so it'll kind of, you have to run 2 weapon systems in order to make this work, but it is a huge 40% bonus, all damage. That's 40% Cat 2. I mean, it's a huge... These are 2 really nice abilities, and they come with. You can fit it on this ship with the Miracle Worker seat. So I will be showing those. I'll also be showing the new Wingman ability, which is really cool. All the new Vanguard Jem'Hadar ships get this Wingman ability, so you'll be able to see that. Alright, so that is the update of where this character is at. Hopefully there are a few tips there if you can, so you can start working on your reputations and get your character progression going. But yeah, enough talk for now. Let's get into the actual episode and see what is going to happen with Kai Opaka. So let's hail.
I need your help with a very sensitive mission. A former Kai, Opaka, was trapped on a prison moon in the Gamma Quadrant in 2369. Alien nanotech in her system prevents her from leaving the moon.
Yeah, it was that nanotech,
It also sustains her life indefinitely while on the surface.
Okay.
It seems the wardens of the prison were planning on curing and granting amnesty to the prisoners until their planet was decimated by the Hur'q. Somehow, the Dominion managed to obtain the cure, and they've provided it to us as a peace offering. The moon hasn't been hit by the Hur'q, but it's only a matter of time. We need to cure Opaka and the others and get them out of there before that happens.
Interesting. So they were going to cure them and give them amnesty? Somali Dominion managed to obtain... Oh, I know what it was. That's right. Opaka, she actually like died, and then the nanomachines infected her. That's what it was. And then so she then at that point had to stay. Okay. But then their planet was decimated by the Hur'q. So what happened then? I guess we'll have to find out what happened if yeah, and they provided it. So now we have the cure. We have to go there and administer it. So let's see what the rewards are here. We get Nol-Ennis prisoner outfit, an Ennis prisoner outfit. So, okay, some cosmetic things. That's kind of cool. We get a makeshift pole arm. I think that's what they were actually using in that episode, if I remember. They had kind of primitive weapons that they used. Okay, but the twist is now that the Hur'q have decimated the planet, now we find out what's going on. Now, I wonder if the 2 factions are still fighting or what happened. I mean, now if they're still infected with that nanovirus, they will...
Something else on your mind?
You know, I don't know if they'd be able to be killed by the Hur'q, right? They just come back to life. All right, so let's head out. Where did they say this was? I guess we'll have to go to... Is it going to be in the Gamma Quadrant? Go to the Ult system in the Gamma Quadrant. All right. So yeah, and if anyone's wondering, it's very easy to get to the Gamma Quadrant now. You just go into sector space right outside Deep Space Nine. Now there is the wormhole right here. And you just say, take wormhole to the Gamma Quadrant. And the Gamma Quadrant, I actually did check this out, but there is a... oh, it's actually in the final phase of the zone-wide event. So there's actually the the new zone-wide battle zone, basically, in the Gamma Quadrant. I will do probably a whole separate video on that because it... oh, it's really close. Because it is a pretty interesting new system. It's one of the new systems introduced with the expansion. It's basically... It's kind of interesting, but it works like sort of like a battle zone, but more with individual queues that you queue into instead of having all of everything in normal space. It's all in sector space. You go to an area and then you can kind of queue up for that particular event and progress it. But overall, it works pretty similar to the old battle zones. And like right here, you can see now that it's in this final stage, you can actually click this and it'll queue you up for the actual final stage event. And you have to kind of participate in that event as many times as possible to get the full reward. Each of the little mini queues are actually really, really fast, so it's not too bad. All right, we're here. I don't see the... There we go. All right, let's begin Armistice. There are the wingmen.
Good, we've arrived. I suggest scanning the prison moon and its satellite network. They might have fixed the design flaw we exploited here years ago to bypass their defenses.
Oh yeah, I think there was some kind of a shield around the planet that they penetrated. Having trouble remembering all the details from that episode.
Those satellites could cripple a Starfleet runabout with one shot back then.
Yeah.
I'd rather not find out how powerful they are now, if you don't mind.
Agreed. Okay, helm, take us into scanning range. So Bashir is here. Cool. But yep, you got these two wingmen now. This is a feature of Vanguard ships. It's kind of like their ship mechanic, like, you know, like the Intel ships have the Intel mechanic, and you have the Miracle Worker ships have that Miracle Worker mechanic. The Temporal ships have like the molecular deconstruction beam, that kind of thing. Jem'Hadar Vanguard ships get this wingman mechanic. It's actually really cool. These are actually, they act sort of like hangar pets, but these have the best AI I've ever seen out of any hangar pet. They follow very, very closely. They don't lag behind like at all. So it's actually a very good AI. And you can actually click this little button here and you can link them. So they will both do the same command when you issue a command. And you can issue these 3 different commands. You can tell them to basically do structural reinforcement maneuver, which I can show you here. They will basically teleport to you and sort of do a little shield heal. You can also have them like target an enemy and drain their shield and reduce their shield resistance. And you can also do this strafing maneuver. And the interesting thing is that these abilities seem to actually be buffed up by your skills and... Oops, probably should do the scan. They seem to be buffed up by your skills.
The satellite weapon and defense systems were updated to deal with modern vessels, but they still have the same flaw that Miles O'Brien took advantage of years ago.
Okay, so they've been updated but still have a flaw. But these abilities seem to actually be buffed by your ship's consoles and your, skill rank. So like the heal is probably improved by your healing ability, and so on. And like Polaron consoles will actually help the strafing maneuver because it does Polaron damage. It only helps these abilities though. It doesn't actually help the pet damage per se, their normal weapon damage. It's just when they're doing these abilities. So these must actually kind of count as abilities from your ship instead of pet abilities, which is kind of interesting how that works. But definitely a very cool starship trait. And I am using also the 4-piece consoles from the Jem'Hadar set, just for, just kind of using them because I don't have much really great consoles anyway to use, and I just wanted to see what they all did and get a little bit of a hang of them and try out their 4-piece. I'll go over that more if I do like a full ship build video, but just so you know, I have all these other little clickies here from those consoles. Like you have this one, which will summon in another support ship, heavy attack craft. that is the trait that you get from, or not the trait, but that's the console you get from that the carrier vessel. So this is the little piece that would detach off the carrier vessel. But if you're not on the carrier, it just warps in to help you out. Kind of cool. So we'll summon him in to help us out, and I think we're all set. So let's keep talking to Bashir here.
The satellite weapon.
Yeah, we heard that. So what is this weakness?
You should be able to distract the satellites by firing probes near their position. Distract enough of them, and you'll clear an area long enough to safely beam down an away team.
Okay. Funny thing is, though, is that
Picking up some debris clouds from Hur'q ships in orbit.
okay, maybe some Hur'q were taken out by the satellites. I was gonna say this ship is not a runabout, so
It's possible some Hur'q bypassed the satellites. We should be ready.
oh, that's cool. Check that
Looks
out.
like O'Brien's trick still works. The satellites took the bait, and we have a safe transport window.
Yeah, that was actually really cool. So you launched satellite or a probe, and you like all the satellites went over towards that one and that one. Now there's a hole opened up in the middle.
We're in position. I recommend we bring some pattern enhancers along. Local interference can make it tough to get a lock on, and we might have to leave in a hurry.
Indeed. Okay.
All right, the doctor and I are ready to beam down when you are. Though I can't say I'm thrilled to see that moon again.
I'm gonna get a little closer because I want to see. I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but it doesn't look like you can target them. But that's actually really
Watch
cool.
it. We're in range of their weapons.
Whoa, okay.
Watch it. We're in range of their weapons.
4 shields failing. Hull integrity below 75%.
Yeah, they hurt.
Watch it. We're in range of their weapons.
Holy crap, look at that. Ow. No, don't destroy my heavy attack craft. You can do it. Oh. Okay, so that was a bad idea. I knew that going in. And that was really annoying because I was trying to fly backwards, and then when I accepted the dialogue, it put me back to full throttle. It's really annoying when it does that. But, okay, so that was stupid. So note to others, do not approach these satellites unless you want to die. They do a lot of damage. Although in hindsight, it would have been kind of cool if you got an accolade or something for doing that.
We're in position. All right.
Okay,
the
okay, I'll
doctor and
beam
I are-
down. I won't be stupid. I'm pretty much running with the same team on the ground. Haven't really changed much there.
Ah, the wreckage of the Yangtze Jiang. Or what's left of her, rather. Looks like the locals have scavenged everything of value from the old girl. Unlike her, they can never die thanks to the nanotech inside of them.
Yep. Until we provide the cure. So was that... I'm trying to remember, was the Yangtze, was that the old runabout?
Right. The last time we were here, the prisoners were eager to be cured, if only to get the chance to kill their rivals off for good. I'm hoping that Opaka has shown them a better path in the time she's been here among them.
That's what I'm wondering. I wonder if she was able to get through with them. I am actually going to be using the... I'm going to be testing out this core field mining plasma cutter from the previous mission. Was the sort of unique reward from the first mission in the series. But yeah, this is pretty cool. This actually reminds me very much of the episode. It was the landscape did look like this. And yeah, check this out. This is the wreckage. It's definitely a runabout. That's really cool. And you can kind of see the hull. This is like the nacelle kind of sticking out. Up here is the, and then you can even see the Yangtze. Okay, cool. Just looking around, I do like checking out whenever I see like a new environment. Always like to check it out because Cryptic's environmental artists are so great, and they can sometimes get quite a bit done with a really old graphics engine. So. All right, but yeah, let's check it out. What's been going on here all this time? Let's take a shot of white here, so we're nice and buffed up.
Hur'q life signs dead ahead.
Oh yeah, okay, so the Hur'q are here. So I want to see what the secondary fire is like, this sustained beam. First things first, I'm going to throw Crystalline Entity in there. Okay, there's my continuous beam. Okay, it died so quickly, it was hard to see if it did anything.
This is interesting. I just ran a medical scan on these Hur'q. They're not regenerating. There's no sign of the alien nanites in their bodies. Something in the Hur'q genetic makeup isn't compatible with the nanites. I suspect it only works on humanoids.
Interesting. That could be... I wonder if that's important. Like, if they could be used against the Hur'q in some way? Okay, so then we have the advantage. I wouldn't know about that, because if we die, then we're going to be stuck here forever, because we'll need the nanites to keep us alive again. But yeah, this is cool. It seems pretty reminiscent of the episode. A nice door. Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention that with the Gamma Recruit event going on, you do need to be a little bit... you do need to remember to get these achievements as you're going through the episodes. I actually got the one from the first episode. I guess it's just learn information in Stormcloud. I think these are... You just have to talk to the Elder first. And, I mean, I remember talking to the Elder first in this episode, but I don't know if that was something that... It seemed like it's something you really couldn't miss, whereas I know in the other recruit events, you have to, like, scan a device in the mission, and sometimes, like, the device would be off the beaten path a little bit, and you have to find it, so... If we do see the Elder first, we gotta make sure to talk to him to get that achievement. Okay, I'm gonna open up with the continuous beam here and just see what it does. So that is really weird. Is it... It was like not targeted? Am I going crazy? It was like... It wasn't like locking onto my tab target. It was like going where I was facing, which would be very odd for this game. Let me try it again. I'm still not quite sure how this thing is working here. Okay, let's try it again. Yeah, see, look at that. This is really weird. Okay, it did finally wear off.
We're here to help. Keep fighting.
Whoa, okay, that's a lot of dudes. Maybe it's just the targeting is a little bit weird. I don't know. I can't... I mean, see, look at it. It's like it's going where my mouse is facing. Kind of. I do love the increased run speed.
Nima's still regenerating. I won't leave her.
Yeah, that's the dude. That was the main leader of one of the factions. In that episode, I remember him. Don't remember his name though. Scan the fallen prisoner. Okay, we'll take a look at it in just a second. But I was, but yeah, this weapon is really, really weird. I'm not really sure how this secondary fire is actually connecting with the target. Okay, but yeah, I do love that really fast run speed the Jem'Hadar get when they have their white high going on.
I think you'll find that she'll be in good health within moments. The healing nanites are quite effective. In fact, they seem to have become more efficient than they were last time I was here.
Immortality, an unusual punishment, indeed.
You can relax. I'm fine now. Really.
You made it. Good. The Kai's been expecting you.
Golan, was that his name? You made it. Good. Okay, so Kai was expecting you? She has.
Yes. She's had a vision about you coming here. Come with us. We'll take you to her. Unless you'd rather stand around here until more of those things show up.
You waste time, prisoner. Go now. So that's interesting. Looks like they, I mean, they're referring to her as the Kai and saying she had as a vision, so maybe they are kind of coming around to her. Maybe she was able to, like, convert them to her religion, or I'm not sure. Looks like she has at least some degree of success. They seem to respect her. I forgot to use my gambling device. And it failed. So got to use it again here in a few seconds.
The Kai's waiting for you, in the temple ahead.
Wow, so they actually sort of kind of made a temple. Interesting, there she is. Kind of a makeshift temple, but it's something. They got fancy braziers going. Cutscene.
Welcome. It's been some time since we've had peaceful visitors. And Kai Kira, it's been too long.
Oh, that's cool, because Kira did
Truly,
really like
the
Hur'q.
prophets have smiled upon us today.
Indeed they have. We have brought the cure. You'll be able to live a normal life away from here. You'll be free.
And we have something to bring with us.
An
A
orb?
miracle.
How did they get an orb of the prophets?
Is that...
Yes, a blessing from the prophets. The Orb of Peace. Through it, we ended the war between Ennis and Nol-Ennis.
Okay. Yeah, those were the two factions that were warring.
As you can see, our peace has been shattered by the arrival of the hostile aliens. We have tried to speak with them, to find reason, but we have failed. We don't even know their name.
No, they don't even know what the Hur'q's name. Interesting. But it looks like they've at least been holding out, so they're not all wiped out. And I guess, you know, since they keep coming back to life, that certainly is an advantage against the Hur'q. But that's cool. So they got an Orb of Peace. And so she was able to kind of then use the Orb's ability, or get visions from the Orb to help achieve peace with the other, between the two factions. That's kind of cool. But how the heck did they get an Orb? And it was actually nice to see Kira and Opaka reunion. That was pretty cool.
They're called Hur'q, and there's no reasoning with them. They attack and devastate every world, every species they encounter. We need to get you and your people out of here as soon as possible.
I see. We must take the orb with us as well. I can't have it falling into the hands of such a warlike species. It would be like the occupation all over again.
That's not going to happen. I won't allow it, and neither will my friends. We can administer the cure to everyone in groups. With your permission, we'll start right away.
Very well. Begin the procedure. I'm sure many of us are eager to leave this place and begin a new life together.
That's pretty interesting. That'd be a big change for the people, because they've been stuck here for so many years, you know, being resurrected all the time. So I'm kind of curious how they feel about being, you know, just suddenly cured. Looks like a lot of people to talk to here. But I want to check out, so is this orb... Can't do anything with it. But that is really interesting. Orb of Peace. How the heck did it get here? Okay, so we inoculate.
Some time ago, I asked Bashir for this cure. I wanted to use the cure as a weapon and kill the enemy.
Yep, I remember
couldn't
that.
put the war with the Nol behind me. I hated him for denying my chance for vengeance. Now, that's changed, thanks to the Kai. I found a better path. I just want to lead a simple, natural life.
Okay, so yeah, it looks like she was able to convince them all to come around, and maybe the Orb of Peace had something to do with that. And he does sound like the original voice actor, maybe? Perhaps? He was not like a major character or anything, but he was an extra, so he does sound the same as he was in the show, although I'm not quite exactly sure. That'd be pretty cool if they did get him back. Okay, inoculate.
After all this time, to live a normal life, it's like waking up from a really bad dream. I can think about having a family again. An actual family. I don't know what else to say except thank you.
You're welcome. So that's cool. We do get to see their reaction. I was kind of afraid they were going to skip over that, but yep, now we get to actually see how they feel about being cured.
The cure, huh? Well, this cure had better work, friend. Or we won't be friends no more. Get me.
Your meaning is clear, inmate.
Then it's true what the Kai saw in her dreams. Those visions. The prophets sent us the Orb, and now they sent you with our deliverance from this horrible place. Truly, the prophets smile upon us all.
Victory is life. Okay. Typical Jem'Hadar response.
Is this for real? This cure? They talked about it a little after the Kai arrived, but I thought it was a myth. Never thought it was actually real. So, I can die now. Funny, I never thought I would. And now that I can, I'm a little scared. Is that strange?
No, I think that'd be normal. A predictable response. Which is kind of curious. I wonder if some of them would reject the cure because they wouldn't want to lose their immortality. But then again, it's kind of a curse at this point, considering how many times they probably died.
When they put me here, all I knew was war. I don't remember why it started, just that there was us and the Ennis, and the Ennis had to die. Even when the Kai came, I didn't believe. But when they found the orb and people stopped killing, things changed for me. Guess there's something to faith after all. Anyway, thanks for everything.
Yep, so it does seem like she was able to convert them over. And so maybe the orb was like why she was drawn to this planet in the first place? Like the orb was like
Looks
already
like you're
here?
down to one dose of the cure. Use that to inoculate the Kai. Kai or Parker, that is. I'll administer the cure to the rest here.
Okay, one dose left. Don't drop it. Whoops. Oh, sorry, Kai. I guess you're stuck here forever. Because, yeah, I mean, I want to say in the episode, Kai did have some kind of like a vision or something, like she was supposed to stay here, or she knew she was going to stay here, so maybe it was the orb.
For all you have done for us today. May the blessings of the prophets be yours.
Alright, the Hur'q may return, prepare to leave. Wouldn't that suck? Like, you get inoculated, and you finally have a life, and then like 5 seconds later the Hur'q come and then kill you.
Those things are attacking! Defend yourselves!
Exactly. Like if they died right now, like right after getting the cure. That would like really suck. So here's this weird beam.
Colin's down! Medic! Someone help him!
I mean, I guess you could toggle it on and off. I don't know, the targeting on it seems so strange. Like it doesn't stop when you lose a target. Oh no! Whoops. Didn't mean to do that.
I'm afraid he's dead. There's nothing we can do for him.
Colin died. What did I just say? Like, you get the cure, and then like 5 seconds later the Hur'q come and you die. Oh, that's
Though we will
rough.
mourn the loss of our friend Colin, we can take comfort knowing that, at long last, he was able to leave this place for a better one. He is finally at peace, and his Hur'q will join the prophets in the Celestial Temple.
He died so the others could live. Respectable. Yes, that was an honorable death. Okay, let's see. First, a small Hur'q vessel was able to make it past the satellite. Small Hur'q network. You're going to have company down there. Okay, so a small Hur'q vessel was able to make it. Okay. Are they just going to beam down more? Is that what they're saying? Not an option. The Hur'q ship getting through. Not an option. The Hur'q ship getting through plus our earlier deception put the defense grid on high alert. Okay, the probe trick is not going to work at this time. What's the new evac plan? We're attempting to hack the satellite communication network. Once we've done so, we'll be able to close to transporter range and beam you out to safety. There's still a lot of local interference, however. If you can get back to the initial transport site and activate your pattern enhancers, we'll be able to get you, yeah, we'll be able to get a better lock on your position. Okay.
The doctor and I will stay with Opaka and her people in case the Hur'q make another attack here. Once you've cleared the way to the transport site, we'll join up with you there.
Okay, make sure the civilians are prepared. Okay, so yeah, Kira and Bashir are going to stay over here with the Kai. What about these people? Anyone else die? Nope, guess not. Yep, so we got to go back to... Oh yeah, look, there's all kinds of Hur'q back there. Okay. This is a nice environment, though. It looks like a pretty faithful recreation from the episode. This is pretty much what it looked like. It was all just run down, like, you know, metal plates, and they just basically lived in caves and squalor. It was not pleasant. There's a lot of red dots out here. Can we snipe them? Did that guy just jump up here? Okay, it looks like another group coming up here. Oh, it's in the foggy area. I wonder if we'll be able to even target them. Glowing attendant. Holy crap, look at this thing. Yeah, let's get our security escorts in here. Gotta get this thing off my back. Okay, that looks like a pretty nasty conal ability he had there.
Glad everyone made it out in one piece. Set up the pattern enhancer so we can beam out safely. There's no telling when the Hur'q will send reinforcements down. Glad everyone made it out in one piece. Okay. That was an interesting boss level character. I can imagine those being pretty nasty on elite difficulty. That is for sure. Okay, well, they're all here. Let's do the pattern enhancers. They use these things all the time in TNG. There's like tons of episodes where they use these pattern enhancers. Remember, they use these things to try to even like beam Moriarty off of the holodeck. All right, let's beam up. That's cool. So we got the Opaka back. Alright, so we're reading a Hur'q fleet inbound to your position, of course. We had to have some kind of space combat, right?
Until we deal with them, we won't be able to lower the shields and beam the rest of the colonists out. Okay, so I guess there's still more colonists down there. I do like the satellite patterns going on here. That's pretty cool looking. How they're in a kind of a synchronous orbit there. Like evenly spaced out. Are we still attempting to hack the satellites? Yes, we currently have partial access to their command network. Give us a little more time and we'll be able to reprogram them to fight on our side. That would be awesome. They were quite deadly. Okay, got a bunch of swarmers. Go, cannon scatter volley, go! And we got some ravagers over here. Thank God for a reverse shield player. Oh my gosh, these things are killing me. I gotta get out of here. Wow, those things almost took me out. I thought you were supposed to hack these things. Come on, pick it up here. Picking up the Hur'q at long range, a lot more. We don't have a lot of time. We are ready to reprogram the satellites, however. Stand by to broadcast the signal. All right.
Let's move the ship behind the satellites and lure the Hur'q in.
Okay, we're receiving a coding message. Patch it through.
Provide an update on your progress. What happened on Ult?
It's the Honored Elder. Is this what we need for the recruit
the Ennis
achievement?
And Nol-Ennis can finally die? I suppose in our own way, we too wish for death. It is our greatest proof of loyalty. Strange. They were immortal like the Founders, but chose to give it up. Perhaps an eternity of war made them weary of never-ending life.
I don't know about the Founders being immortal. I mean, they had that one virus that almost killed them all off until Odo cured them, so... maybe they're just immortal, you know, as part of their mystique and legend that all of their subjects believe they're immortal. Victory is life.
Of course. But perhaps life is other things as well. No matter. Your efforts on Ult will have a positive impact on the Federation. The rescue of a Bajoran spiritual leader is the kind of inspiration that warfare cannot provide.
I don't care about the Federation. I care about the KDF. I wonder if that's supposed to change based on your faction. Indeed, Honored Elder. Did that give me credit? Yeah, that was it. Okay, so apparently you don't have to actually look for like a particular object to communicate with the Honored Elder. It just kind of happens naturally during the mission. Which is okay, I guess. I know there were a few missions I remember in the other recruit events where you would like miss them. Where do I need to go here now? I'm like nervous, man. Every time I get close to these satellites, I start getting destroyed. Let's get out my heavy attack ship here. You can see the wingmen are just really good at following you. Their AI is actually really good. It'd be nice if Cryptic
Just in time. Here they come.
Okay. It'd be nice if Cryptic did improve the AI in other pets. To be that responsive, it would be very nice. Something was like holding me there or something. I didn't have any maneuverability. Let's call in our fleet support. That's not good. I am taking a lot of damage. That is a lot of dudes, man. Satellites are helping, I guess, but they're not doing a whole lot. Let's link these guys. I keep forgetting to do that. There we go. Ravager. Any Ravagers in there?
Four shields failing.
There's a lot of dudes, man. Just upper range. There we go. Holy crap, look at all these items they dropped. Gotta pick up all the goodies.
Well, it looks like the Hur'q have had enough for now. Let's get the rest of Opaka's people out of the colony while we can. The Hur'q might send a larger force to finish us off.
Agreed. Transporter energize.
Thank you, Julian. It means a lot to me to... Thank you, Julian. It means a lot to me to have everyone out safely, especially Opaka. We have a lot to talk about, her and I. For now, I think we should return to Deep Space Nine before the Hur'q come back to settle the score.
Dang it. Of course, I knew that was going to happen. I was picking up items, and I ended up tabbing past the discussion with Bashir, and I don't see a way to get that dialogue back. Let's see. Was it in... Okay. Yep. Okay. I can just read it to you here. This is what Julian said in that little skipped dialogue box that I had. Okay, he said, I'm glad I was able to administer the cure to the remaining prisoners while you were clearing the path to the transport site. Everyone is safely on board and mortal for the first time in many years. I've never seen so many people overjoyed to learn that eventually they will die. Almost reminds me of... reminds me kind of like, you know, like Pirates of the Caribbean, where they had the curse. I guess spoilers if you haven't seen that 10-year-old movie, but you know, where they had that curse where they were, you know, they could never die. They were immortal, but then they, you know, they couldn't taste or they couldn't have any feelings or anything, and they wanted to die as sort of a, you know, break the curse so they could actually die as kind of a release. Kind of that same kind of thing here, where they're finally glad that they can die because they've lived so many times and been resurrected so many times. All right.
Thank you, Julian. It means a lot to me to have everyone out safely, especially Opaka. We have a lot to talk about.
So that was it. Ooh, cutscene. Warp out cutscene. Oh,
welcome to Deep Space Nine.
What the hell?
Emissary, our paths meet again.
Hello, Ben. It's good to hear from you.
What the heck? Cisco? What the... How was, like, Cisco communicating with them, man? What the heck? Very interesting. But they didn't... I don't know, did... I didn't hear that Cryptic actually got him... got Cisco back as, like, a voice actor in this, you know, for the expansion. So I wonder if they just used sampled voices there. It did seem a little bit distorted, so I wonder if they just used a sampled voice from the show. But interesting, so there's some kind of hint going on there, that they can still communicate with Cisco. Okay, kind of a little bit out of the ordinary there, but that'd be really cool. I'm sure the Bajoran people would be very happy to have Opaka back, because that was a big loss to them when she was gone. She was like their spiritual leader for a long time, plus... you all know that when she left, then Kai Wynn took over, and God, she was like a, you know, a corrupt monster, basically, and totally led the Bajorans down the wrong path. So it would be great to have Opaka back for the Bajorans. Alright, so let's go ahead and hail, and
I'm glad we were able to return Opaka to Bajor safely. She's determined to follow the will of the prophets and establish a new place of worship in the Gamma Quadrant near the wormhole. Odo assures me that the Dominion are open to discussing this. We'll see. Many of us have not forgotten the fate of the new Bajor colony, and the Dominion's role in that.
Yep.
As for me,
They wiped it out.
my time as Kai is coming to an end. Opaka is the Kai that Bajor needs now. I intend to guard the Celestial Temple from the Hur'q and anyone else who would destroy the home of the prophets. Best place to do that is Deep Space Nine, as part of Starfleet. I'll be Captain Kira the next time you see me.
Wow, okay.
Thank you again for helping me bring Opaka home. I owe you one.
Interesting. So she just gave up being Kai right back to Opaka. Okay. And then now she wants to actually join Starfleet. I wonder if she had a commission with Starfleet at some point. I mean, she would have had to become right to a captain. I know she was she held rank in the Bajoran militia, but she was not. I don't think she was ever really part of Starfleet. But now she is going to be a captain. Interesting. So Kira has been moving up in the world, I guess. But no longer going to be Kai. But that's fine. They got Kai Opaka back. So we got these two uniforms. Have to check those out, and then we'll get this, of course, polearm, which is unique, or you can just get standard polearm pistols. Nothing unique there, so definitely go for the makeshift polearm. Let's go ahead and check these out, and then we'll close out the video. And I guess just to give my final thoughts on the episode, that was actually a very good episode. Yeah, I really liked that. I really liked the reunion between Opaka and Kira. That was well done, and how they did actually, you know, sort of tie the loose end with what happened with Opaka, and now she's back in the picture for, you know, as far as Star Trek Online is concerned, she's back as the Kai of the Bajoran people, which is a pretty significant development. And now Kira is back in active service, so she'll probably be joining us on missions for the future. But that was really cool. But they didn't explain where they got the Orb of Peace from what I can tell. Maybe that'll be answered in a future episode. But, and what are they going to do with the Orb of Peace? I wonder if I should go over to the temple and see. The temple is, that's the temple up there. Let's go to the temple and check it out and see if there is any, like another orb in there. I don't know what they would have done with it. No, it's just the same orb. I'd like to open up one of these orbs and have a vision. I remember that was pretty cool way back in that previous Dominion story arc. That was one of the cool parts when they had the vision with the prophets there. Oh yeah, and that after I completed that other episode, Bashir is now, you know, here. All the crew members are kind of in their stations now, which he wasn't here before before that mission was complete. So that's kind of cool. So we can check out the little unique rewards we got here, and we got some more white. Woohoo! Can feed our addiction. Oh yeah, someone mentioned in the comments that you can get white from the replicator, but for whatever reason, it doesn't let me buy the Catch Cell White here right from the replicator. I don't know if you have to unlock it somehow, but at least in my current state where I'm at with this character, it does not let me purchase this white. So I definitely do need to Yeah, I definitely need to complete these missions here to keep getting that that white fix. That's what I need. Okay, but let's take a look at the pole arm here. Yeah, I think that does look like it did on the episode, if I recall correctly. Let's see if I can get a better look at it here. Yep, so there it is. Another melee weapon. That's kind of cool. It's pretty accurate to what the episode of, yeah, from what I remember of the episode, it does look pretty accurate. Can't really show much of the moves, but okay, so cool. You get a unique pole arm. Oh yeah, and we got a costume too, didn't we? Let's check that out at Garrick's Clothier. But I'm not much of a melee combat person, so I'm gonna go back to the weapon here. This definitely was an interesting. This plasma beam weapon, plasma cutter, was an interesting weapon. That is for sure. It was kind of odd how it would the secondary fire would continue firing even if you didn't have a target. Let's see if we can check out this.
There will always be a part of me that misses the joy of...
Yep. So Garrick is back here in his shop, although he is not actually the tailor. Okay, there it is, Nol-Ennis. Maybe it's pants loose. Tucked Ennis, okay. Is there a tucked low? No, looks like it's tucked high. Tucked Ennis. But that's Nol-Ennis. Is there just a regular Ennis? I don't see it. Oh, there is. Okay. It's under jacket tight. Is the regular Ennis? I think the Nol-Ennis one looks a little bit better. Yeah, I like that one a little better. I think. Anything else? Feet? I don't see anything. Belt. There's a Nol-Ennis belt. Oh, that's a pretty cool looking belt. You could probably fit that with some different outfits. Nothing there, nothing there. No attachments. Oh, Ennis. Oh, check this out. Those are some shoulder pads right there. Wow. Those are some pretty sick shoulder pads. Those are like Klingon, like massive shoulder pads here. Nothing on the neck. Back? No. Oh, wraps. Oh, dude, those are pretty cool. Check them. No gloves. I like those shoulder pads. Let me just, I'm going to cancel out of here. I'm kind of curious if the, if I can get the shoulder pads to actually fit with this uniform. How does the coloring look here? Okay, they kind of have a weird texture on them. So what color did I use on these? I1. No, it's not really. If I make both of these, does it No, you can't get rid of that kind of secondary color on there. I hate that when they have uncolorable areas. You could make it like dark. No, even that doesn't work. See, it's got kind of that weird, like, brownish color on it. How about the other pads? Nope. Well, that's a bummer. If they were colored a little bit better, I could make it work, because that would actually look pretty cool with this costume. But no matter what you do, it kind of has that brown smudge on it. That's unfortunate. Let's check out the belt, though. The belt might actually go well in this costume as well. It's even got the crotch plate. It doesn't look too bad, I guess. I wonder if any of these other belts... I could just go with like a regular... The Intel belt doesn't work. The Bajoran belt doesn't look too bad. And I'll just skip with no belt this time. But that is what the uniform pieces look like from the mission rewards. Which is awesome. I'm glad they included some unique costumes from the show. That's kind of cool. Some good customization options there available. So yeah. So I would say the mission is definitely worth it. You get some nifty little unique rewards, some little throwback to the Deep Space Nine episodes, and the reward. It's not. I mean, it's a melee weapon. It's nothing too special, but you know, it was more just for the looks of it. And just, you know, it's just kind of cool to have something unique. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up, guys. I very much enjoyed the episode. Like I said, it's good to have Kai Opaka back, and it's kind of nice how they closed that out. I think the only sort of nitpick I would have with the episode is I guess the convenience of somehow the Jem'Hadar got their hands on the cure. I would have liked it a little better maybe if Bashir had, like, maybe he had to work on the surface to resynthesize the cure. Because I remember when he was there the first time, you know, back in the actual Deep Space Nine show, he was pretty close to getting a cure. He was pretty confident he would be able to do it. Maybe he could just, you know, kind of, we'd take him there, he'd finish his work just in the nick of time as the Hur'q were about to attack, and we'd administer it and then get off the planet. That might have been a little bit better instead of just having it's like, oh, in the intro to the episode, somehow the Dominion got the cure and they gave it to us. Oh, thank you, Dominion. So I thought that was a little bit on the convenient side, but everything else was great. So we got to find out, you know, what's going to happen with the Orb of Peace now, and what was the significance of that little Ben Sisko prophet moment at the end there. What is what's going to happen there? Does that have any significance, or was that just kind of his farewell? I don't know. Maybe it'll come back again in another episode. Maybe that was just kind of a one-off thing. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I really enjoyed the episode. I mean, as far as the combat goes, it was pretty straightforward. We did get to finally meet a Hur'q ground boss, which was looked pretty scary. I have to say, it looked like it'd be one of those boss level enemies on Elite that would be very difficult. Seemed to have a wide range of potentially devastating abilities. So we'll have to see if if Cryptic adds in like an Elite ground Q for the Hur'q, which we don't have any ground Qs for the Hur'q yet, do we? Or for the Gamma marks. Yeah, all we have is just one thing right now, just one Q, and that's in space. So I get the feeling there probably will be a ground Q at some point. Seems like in most other cases, there's always like a ground and a space. At least one ground, sometimes multiple space Qs, but let me put ground Qs back on. But yeah, there's always like one ground Q and then a bunch of space Qs. So I'm sure they will add at least one ground Q to the Gamma marks, and we'll maybe be able to get to fight some of those Hur'q bosses on the ground on Elite difficulty. We'll have to see how that goes. But otherwise, yeah, the combat was pretty straightforward. Just a couple ground fights, a couple space fights. I do like how they had the sort of the satellite defense grid come online and help you out. It didn't honestly seem to help all that much. I was expecting it to be like devastating like it was when I got too close, being an idiot flying in close to those satellites, and they like were doing massive chunks of damage to me. So didn't really do that. As soon as they were on your side, they became immediately weaker, and then it was up to you to take out the Hur'q ships. But there were quite a few Hur'q ships, I have to say, so it was a reasonable challenge as far as the space combat went. And yeah, and I'm even just playing on... Am I still on normal? I believe I am still on normal, yep. So would definitely be quite a challenge if you played it on Advanced or Elite, just because there were quite a few Hur'q ships that came in. There was a pretty large fleet, and the satellites really didn't help that much. I suspect with that size of a fleet that maybe Cryptic, I don't know, maybe something, they thought the satellites would be helping a lot more than they did, but they really didn't seem to. And strangely, I just opened up my screen here and was looking at the my character screen, and I saw that I got another mastery rank. I wonder if these episodes give a decent amount of mastery from the Hur'q, from the kills, Hur'q kills in space, because there were actually quite a few swarmers and everything. I didn't actually look at how much experience they were giving on kill. That would be actually kind of nice because, believe it or not, at least from what I've been finding, is that mastery has been significantly nerfed in the expansion. It's much harder to get mastery up. At least in like queues like the Borg Red Alert used to give quite a bit of mastery rank, and now it doesn't. I think there's something messed up with the level scaling. Still, at least that's my theory. Either that or it was an intentional nerf. But these missions actually seem to give a decent amount of mastery. I wonder if replaying them would be a good way to farm mastery, maybe. Although maybe not, because you'd have to go through all the... Well, if you F'd through all the interactions really quick and then just got right to the space combat, maybe? Have to see. Might be worth checking out, though, because I just noticed that it gave a good amount of mastery. Alright, but that, I believe, pretty much covers it. So thank you very much for watching this episode. I really enjoyed Armistice, and we'll be doing... next will be coming up will be The Search. And, ooh, this is going to be great. Looks like we're going to be working with Garrick. So, yeah. That will be great. I loved Garrick's character in Deep Space Nine, so looking forward to this episode, guys. So far, really enjoying the story arc. Hope you are too. But, yep, that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.